Welcome back to another episode of Miles Annon Bodyweight Training. Today we're going to be talking about pull-ups. So, a question I get asked a surprising amount is, I want to be able to do a pull-up. I can't do pull-ups. I want to even be able to do one pull-up would be great. This is great. What I find interesting about this is that most of the people that ask me tend to be women. So why is that? I mean, I'm looking at the person asking me and I see well-developed shoulders, triceps, biceps, etc. And I think, okay, well, everything seems and looks strong. I've struggled to see where the missing link is. The missing link is actually to do with body composition. And on average, women have about 40% less muscle mass in the upper part of their body than compared to men. Why does this matter? I'll tell you exactly why it matters. It matters because when you're doing a pull-up, it's not just about your biceps and triceps and shoulders, it's the whole upper body. The traps come into play, the lats come into play, the abdominals come into play. And if there's less muscle mass relative to your lower body, of course this is just gonna make it hard for you. So what can we do about that? I'll tell you exactly what we can do about that. We can train the progressions that I'm going to show you, but it breaks it down. And one thing that I always try to teach is integrity with any given movement. And with the gymnastics and the calisthenics, actually everything plays a part with everything, which is actually going to be a future video, definitely going to be a future video. But ultimately everything plays a part on everything. So if we can address certain issues to start with easy progressions, over time the muscle memory kicks in, the brain kicks in to be able to do complex movements. So I'm going to demonstrate today exactly how to do the pull-up with what I believe is a very effective method. So then, how are we going to achieve the pull-up? What are the foundations? What are where's our starting point? The starting point is going to be just hanging. Okay, you can see here that I've initiated just a simple hang. Okay, there's important key parts to know. But as you can see, this is the starting point of your pull-up. Okay, you're in a dead hang position. What we're going to do from here is we're going to focus on the first and most important aspect, which is control over your grip. Okay, you can see here that I've adopted just a standard grip, which is a relatively loose grip, and it doesn't allow your wrists, your fingers and your forearms to be engaged. This becomes a bottleneck when you can't hang on. So what we want to try and achieve is the strength needed to build up just hanging. This method of the overgrip is as if you're trying to put your hands around the bar, and you're just going to hold on into that position. I recommend using chalk for this. If your hands are a little bit sweaty, they're gonna, with your body weight, when you introduce your body weight, they're gonna just slide back down. Okay. From here, you're gonna just try to move through that position. This is actually a really good exercise for just straight up shoulder mobility. So once you can see my head moving through, going backwards and forwards through the position, this is sort of just hanging there. And you're gonna hang there really for as long as you can. You can do 10 seconds, great. You can do 5 seconds, that's still great. You have to start somewhere. If you can't achieve the overhang grip, then try just hanging in the position that you're most capable of holding, and practice squeezing the bar. Actively squeeze the bar. This is going to engage your finger strength. It's going to bring in your wrist as much as it can. It's also going to trigger your forearms as well. This hopefully will give you the strength needed to really perform the overgrip. I'm going to slide on into the scapular control. What does that actually mean? Okay, so the scapula is ultimately the wings that you see at the back, which is your shoulder blades. This is covered by the traps, the lower half of the traps, and the muscles involved in that are the lats, the latissimus dorsi, and obviously your scapula, and there's some other muscles in there, but we don't need to get too technical. But what we want to try and achieve here is to engage this area, because this is actually, for all of calisthenics movements and gymnastic movements, is one of the most important aspects. It's a very large area of muscle, and we want to be able to feel that muscle working. So all we're going to do here is try to pull yourself away from your hands with straight arms, okay, and pinch the shoulder blades. That's ultimately what you're trying to do. You're trying to engage that area. If you can't get as much movement as I have, then just a little bit. The intent of the movement is way more important than obviously not doing anything at all. So do this a few times. You will start to fatigue. So if you can do it 3 times, 2 times, 4, it doesn't matter. Just do it. Rest for a second and then do some more. So I think we'll leave it around about there for now. I did have intentions to make this just one straight video with all the progressions to building up and then performing your pull-up, but it's actually getting quite long and I don't really want to bore you guys, so I'm actually going to split it into 2 parts. I will try to get that second part out in the next couple of days, just so you're not waiting around too long for it. For those who are just starting out in the pull-up, this is going to be great for you. You do want to maximize those things and become actually really competent at just doing those. I know it's not as exciting, but we have to start somewhere, and that's really important to know. So yeah, like I said, I'll get that video out to you as soon as possible, hopefully in the next couple of days. But for the meantime, I'm actually just going to give you a little update on where my gymnastics is at the moment, because the channel is kind of about that as well. Just going to throw together a little footage from last Wednesday, I believe, of me at East London Gymnastics Centre, where I actually picked up a little injury in my wrist. One of those things, gymnastics, risky sport. When you're heavy-ish like me, it becomes a little bit more risky. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you guys soon.